got me acting out. You, all tenderness is out the window. What you do to me when the cold bites blue is straight cruel. Oh, it has to be you leaving writings on the wall. You promised me roses and hungry haze, but now there's only madness. Got me feeling dusty, got me feeling dusty. I can't even whisper and it's hard to see. Don't take my hand away from me. Please tell me it's a dream. A dream. The worst kind you've ever dreamed. Don't wanna lay another night here without you. Don't wanna walk another mile. I just can't. So please don't make me do it, 'cause I got too much to lose. I got too much to lose. Now lay me in the wilderness to dry up bits of your sweet caress. I can't wait.
Hello! Oh, hang on. The camera's pointing a bit of a weird direction. How's it going, everybody? I hope you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and everything's all good in the chat. I've also forgotten to turn the light on. Hey Google, turn on video light.
Alright, turning on the video light.
There we go. It's very bright outside. Just trying to balance the the lighting a little bit. Webcam settings. What's it on? No, it's okay, I think. All right. How's everyone doing? Hello. We've got Walija in the chat. I hope I'm saying that correctly. No idea how to pronounce that second one, I'm afraid. Those are not English characters, and I will not try to pronounce that. It will be a disaster. Epic Productions, Doomsday, Diamant Foyer. Again, hope I'm saying that correctly. Ruby Pritchard, Dynamo VFX. Lots of people. Cool. Thank you for the thumbs up. That's very helpful. I guess let's just get started. So today, obviously, is the PWNISHER live stream where I'm going to be working on my submission. I already have an idea, and so I think in this we're just going to crack on. I'm very well, thank you, Ruby. How are you? My camera's kind of like still off at an angle. Is that better? I think that looks better. Yeah, cool. Right, so I have a mood board that I made for this stream, and actually let's get the music back on as well. That might be a bit loud. There we go. Let me know if the music is too loud and if you need me to turn it down or not. Hopefully that's a decent balance. Yeah, so I have a mood board that I made for this stream. That is going to be some references of what I'm trying to achieve. Load recent is this. So it's like the Eye of Sauron. Someone pointed out that the last one I did was Lord of the Rings themed as well. I do seem to have a bit of a affiliation for Lord of the Rings themed renders. Normally I wouldn't do the same thing twice because it's kind of nice to keep it interesting. But I thought this idea was really cool, so I actually just wanted to kind of go for this, so it doesn't really matter. So the plan basically is to make something a little bit like this, and if you saw the stream thumbnail, which is somewhere, thumbnail, it's going to be kind of like this sort of thing. So I'm going to remake the eye and do all of it in Blender, and then obviously have a character in the foreground. Probably not this kind of framing, excuse me, it'll be on like a bridge or something a bit more interesting, and it'll be, I think I'm gonna have the eye like in the cave or like in the volcano in Mount Doom, so the background will be like kind of rocky, cavey with some lava and some fire. Should be pretty cool. So this is the idea. I got all of these together because I thought it'd be cool to have some references. These are the eyes that it normally looks like in the film. This is from The Hobbit, so it's a slightly different look, but just good reference for the fire. This is my favourite of the looks. I'm going to try and kind of replicate this one the most, I think. And then I think this one's like a concept art. But it's good to have all of them. So I'm going to stick this on my top monitor. Actually, I might put it... Oh yeah, put it over here. And then I can constantly go back and look at that. Can you tell me what gizmo you used to see the AOVs? Oh, it's called Channel Hotbox. If I read in something that's got some AOVs, which I probably actually don't have for the moment. Boss fight. Maybe this will just have, well, it'll just have the one, but it's called Channel Hotbox. You can get it on Wikipedia. And basically, oh, it does have some AOVs. Yeah, if you press the tilde key, which I think that's how you say it, is the one next to the 1 on your number pad under escape. Not on your number pad, sorry, on the keyboard. It brings up this box, and so you can flick through all of them. There won't be much to look at on this because I didn't actually set up this render to have any AOVs. But you can also press shift, which I believe shuffles them out, which is really handy. And you can do it with multiple as well, so I wanted to have both of those. So that's pretty cool. And it also, I think you can make like grade nodes if you hold Alt and click it. Maybe Control. Yeah, it makes a grade node and you can grade that particular channel, which is also quite handy. But I mainly just use it for flicking through the AOVs. But yeah, there you go. That is the answer to that. Hello everyone else that's joining. Lots of haze in the chat. Thank you for coming along. So, I did a little test last night because I was getting carried away and excited about the idea. So essentially I'm going to try and remake the eye texture, and I'm going to do it in Nuke because it's animated. And then I will bring that into Blender, put it on some geometry, make it emissive and make it look really funky. So I guess let's just get started. Again, like I said, I'm going to try and go for this one because I think this is the coolest of all of the looks. This is from like the bit in the first film where Frodo puts on the ring. I think it's from the first film, might be the second film actually. Oh no, it is the first film. And it's like that kind of dream sequence where everything goes really warpy and distorted with loads of heat distortion, and you get this really cool like pupil slit with all the kind of textures warping in from the edges. So let's have a stab at making that. Oh, here we go, more questions. Just started learning Nuke, went through around 15 different King tutorials before seeing yours. All my questions were answered, thank you so much. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it and found it useful. That's kind of the idea with my tutorials really, is I make the videos that I wish existed when I was learning Nuke, and so hopefully I can kind of pass on the knowledge and help anyone else that's trying to get into it. But yeah, I'm really glad you enjoyed them, thank you. The face cam looks a bit dark. I'm going to turn my light up a little bit. Max brightness. Let's put it on 90%. Is that better? A little bit. It's hard to tell. Right. Oh, it's very bright now. Well, it's bright for me anyway. I think it looks okay. So, the plan, I think, it all kind of starts with loads and loads of noise textures, and then I'm going to warp it into like a spherical or a circular image. So first of all, what I ended up doing last night, you were doing great, brother. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Let me know if the music is an okay volume or if it's like overpowering my voice. I think it looks okay on the mixer, but it's actually quite hard to tell for me just listening to it. So this is a really cool trick with noise. Obviously, there's loads of stuff you can do with it, but to make the kind of like moving texture that's coming in from the edge of the eye, what I did last night was I go into the scale settings and I set the height to something like 20, which gives you this really stretched version of the noise, and then you can turn it down, turn down the X and Y size, and also use a grade node on it. So I'm going to gamma it down, which gives this kind of streaky effect. I might even stretch it a bit more, I think. It's all just kind of like making it up as I go really, but yeah, that looks pretty good. And then you can change the Z to get like a different level of how much it's spread out, and then the where it really starts to actually look how we intend is to use a spherical transform node and set the output to fisheye, I think. No, mirror ball. Rectilinear. No. Cube map. Oh, wait, I got it working last night. Which one is it? Mirror ball? I thought it was mirror ball. Maybe. Let's do this. Nope. Hang on. I'm going to cheat and import the one I did last night just to look at it. Let's add this in here. Oh, I already have it actually. I just forgot. Let's call it boss fight. Nuke scripts. Eye texture test. Here we go. What did I do? Okay, so it's mirror ball and the rotation is set to look instead. Alright. Mirror ball, look. And then 60. There we go. So now you get this kind of like streaking effect, so it goes from outside in. And then to get it to animate, what you can do is actually change the transform. So for example, if I do an expression here, and I do equals frame times, let's say 10, and then just play this. It's moving very slowly. So let's go much quicker. Frame times 100. There we go, you can see it moving now. At the moment it's going in the opposite direction. It's going inside to out. I want it to do the opposite, so I'm going to do equals minus 100, and I'm actually going to do more like minus, I think 70, because it's still a little bit quick. The music is pleasant. Good, thank you. That's very helpful. How's that? That's looking better. There, so you see how you get this like really nice streaking effect now. There's different things you can do with the noise to make it more interesting. So I can change the scale, and I can change the grade, so you can like gamma it down to make it more or less like broken up, I guess. I can also change the lacternity, which adds more kind of detail into the look, which works quite effectively. So it's kind of starting to look like an eye, and I really like this kind of broken up stuff that's happening at the edges. Probably still too quick actually. Let's do half of that. Minus 35. Okay. And then what I want to do is create a kind of edge effect. So if we look at the references, a lot of them have this kind of ring towards the edges where it's more solid, and then the texture kind of falls off as it gets into the middle. So I'm going to go onto my noise, and I'm going to add a rectangle node and use this to, actually I could probably just use it straight over the actual source like this. Actually I'm going to merge it over and treat it separately so I can do some funky stuff with it. There we go. So essentially, because it's warping the top of the footage, if I put it all along, or like it's warping the whole footage into a circle, if I put it along the top, when it gets made into a circle, that becomes the edge. Then what we can do from here is you can blur it, which kind of helps. I'm also going to do like a fractal blur on it. Oh, it doesn't work, hang on. I need to grab my fractal blur preset from my Google Notes. Fractal blur. There we go. Don't know why that didn't work. It must be Nuke 14. Let's disable this for now. Here we go. No animation. Now. Distortion size. Scale. 200. That looks pretty cool. Let's put the blur before, and then you get this kind of effect, which is really awesome. And then I can like change the scale of the rectangle to make a difference to that as well, which is cool. Also, might as well make it the right color, so I'm just going to multiply it by a very kind of orangey color for now. A bit less green, a bit more red. There we go. How are we looking now? It's pretty cool. I don't really like this bit. I wonder if I can change that. It's probably just the seed, isn't it? There we go. Maybe a bit less contrast will do the trick. Okay, it's looking kind of cool. I'm also going to do like a distort on this to make it a bit less straight, so it looks more interesting. So I can do that with a noise. I'm going to use like a turbulence setting instead of the normal one because it looks a bit more interesting. Again, expression on the noise, so let's do times 0.02 and just see how quickly that moves. It's way too quick. 0.002. Now it's hardly moving. 0.007. That's better. And then I'm going to use a PXF distort node on this. Plug the lens into the noise, and so that uses the noise to distort the image, which looks like this. Kind of cool. You can also do blur lens, which stops it from being quite so detailed, which I'll probably do. And then when we look at that now, it makes it a lot more warpy, which is kind of cool. I think I'd probably want it. I don't know why this is happening actually. Where's that? It's like a really solid line in it. Oh well, I'll worry about that later. I think that's looking pretty good. It doesn't play back very well, but it's fine. I think I'll animate the outside ring as well. So let's do animation seed equals frame times 0.1. Let's see how quick this moves. Okay, that's way too quick. 0.01. Is it moving? It's moving very slowly. Maybe because it's on the edge, it's kind of minimizing the effect. So let's actually do 0.1, see how that looks. It's probably a bit quick now. Yeah, let's go half of that, maybe even a quarter. 0.025. Okay. Then I think Yusef, hey, how's it going? The center can be darker. So let's do like multiply this down. Oh, it's not the right format. Place 400. Cool. And then we'll make the pupil. So it's going to be just a rotor shape, like this sort of thing. Oh, I've frozen. Oh yeah, let's save this before we lose everything as well. Boss fight underscore shot 1 underscore comp underscore version 1. Amazing naming conventions. It's very hot. I need to turn my fan on. Hopefully that won't be too noisy in the background. Okay. So it's kind of like, let's look at the reference. The pupil's not the entire size of the eye, so maybe like that sort of thing is probably okay. Let's make this out of a constant, and then new 1920 by 1920 square. Pre-mult, merge, bang. Okay, that's there. It's kind of not very visible at the moment, but I'll make it more visible. Your latest video was awesome. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Do you plan to go on vacation this year? If yes, where? I'm actually on holiday at the moment. Well, on holiday from work, not from actually leaving my flat. But no, I don't have any planned. I went away with some friends to Prague earlier this year, which was fun. I'm moving house, or I bought a flat and I'm moving into it next month, so I'll be booking some time off for that for the move, so that's probably going to be my holiday for this year. That's the plan. But I'm not a massive holiday person. I quite like being at home, so that doesn't really bother me. Let's shuffle the pupil into the alpha, and then we can do an edge detect. Has that worked? RGB. It's not worked very well, has it? Edge mode normally just works. Oh, it's edge blur, that's why. Edge detect. What are you doing? I am making this for the PWNISHER render challenge thing. So it's going to be the big eye and then the character in front of it. So the eye is going to be like the boss, and then the other character will be the smaller character in the foreground. Okay, so that's going to be the edge of the pupil. And we can shuffle this back into all of the layers. Probably make this an orangey color as well. Not that orange. And put this under. There we go. Erode this more. Oh. Why is that not working very well? Let's just do another erode after that instead. There we go. Cool. Doing the whole thing in Nuke or doing some 3D as well? This is just a Nuke. I'm just making the texture because it's animated and it would be very difficult to make this procedurally in Blender. So I'm just designing this in Nuke, and then the rest of it will be the 3D. I'm going to make a whole environment and everything as well. So there will be lots of Blender stuff. Let's bring in some fire. Action VFX fire. I think something like ground fire might be good. It's in the wrong color space, of course. Output Rec 709. Oh, what did I choose there? Oh yeah, that was correct. Let's time offset it so it's not right at the beginning. And let's set the frame range so it's 1120. The project is 24 frames per second. Okay, reformat, transform. And this is going to go under the pupil, so let's plug this in here. Oh, I want to reformat it to square. Something like that. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna blur this a bit. And then let's do a second one of these. So time offset again. Let's do be like minus 500, and the same thing. Merge these two together, put that over the footage, and then flip this around, and then bam! Cool. We're starting to get somewhere now. Let's make this a bit more contrasty. Maybe make this a bit bigger, possibly? I'm very much just making this up as I go, but hopefully it starts to look cool. I think the fire could be a better colour. Warmer, maybe? Yeah. A bit less green. Let's put some more saturation into the whole thing. That's nice. Hello, I'm later than usual. How are you? I'm good, thank you. Sorry about that Discord. It's fine, don't worry about it. It's just good to keep posting the correct channels and stuff, and not post anything too crazy, because otherwise I just end up spending my whole time going through Discord deleting posts that are in the wrong channels and vetting things. So it would be nice if people could just read the rules, but they never do. But it's fine, don't worry about it. That's looking kind of cool. I think this could be a bit bigger, maybe, and a bit more blurred. Oops. 200. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Maybe a bit too big. Something like that. Yeah, that's nice. And then I think I'll do a second noise on here as well. Make this one a lot smaller. Why is nothing happening? HD. Why isn't it working? There we go. It's way too much. Different type of noise. Ooh, that's looking kind of cool. I'm trying to find a good balance of like detail without it just looking like loads of noise distorts on top of itself. I think let's also do the same on this. So noise. Actually, maybe just duplicate that fractal blur on here. Oh, that'd be wicked if that was just what the pupil looked like. I think that's probably too much. 50. Maybe put the fractal blur after the blur. Possibly. 70. Ooh. And then another fractal blur on here. It's just noise on top of noise on top of noise. But I like it. Oh, that's pretty cool. I think this could be a different colour, maybe brighter as well. Okay. Let's pull out a bit more detail in the fire because it's very uninteresting at the moment. Ranges. And then highlights. There we go. Just gives the fire some more detail. I feel like this pupil thing is quite uninteresting now. 40. All-seeing eye. Yeah, indeed. Harvey says, very cool. Thank you very much. It's getting there, slowly. What else can we do? Maybe like invert this match slightly and use that to grade the outside. Woo. Erode this. Contrast. Yeah, there we go. How did you make the fire? I joined late. The fire is a piece of stock footage from Action VFX, so it's just taken that, time offset it, and turned it sideways like that, and then put them next to each other, and you get this kind of cool fiery effect. Oh, actually, it needs to start a bit later. Let's do like frame 900. There we go. That's looking cool. I think the blur on this is making it a little less cool though. Let's make this a bit sharper. And less intense. And then there's green, maybe? I just keep looking back at the reference. Okay, thank you so much. No problem. Is Nuke harder than Houdini? I don't really know. Well, I don't know Houdini, so I can't really answer that. I think Houdini probably has a steeper learning curve, but it's kind of like comparing, I don't know, a fork and a knife. Like they're two different things for different tasks. They're both quite difficult to learn. Hi, first time here, also a beginner in Nuke. What's your system, Mac or Windows? How much RAM do you recommend? I have a Windows PC and I have an i7 6700K processor, 32 gigs of RAM, and an RTX 3090. Compositing is mostly CPU, and my CPU is actually probably now the weakest point in my computer since I bought my 3090, because I do a lot of 3D rendering in Blender, which is why I got the 3090. But I'll probably upgrade the CPU at some point. But saying that, it doesn't feel particularly slow. It works pretty well. I don't do any huge comps at home anyway. It's mostly at work. In terms of what I would recommend for RAM, probably like anything over 16 is fine. You don't need loads unless you're doing something super serious. The machines I have at work have like 190 gigs of RAM, I think. They're great. But they're like flame machines, which are good. I'm planning to make something in 2.5D, a knight with a magical sword fighting a dragon, basic, but I'm just doing it to learn. Oh nice, cool, that sounds fun. I feel like the fall off on this is not quite working how I intended. Let's do a bit of a grade on this. So actually, rectangle. multiply. How does that look? It's definitely better. This is probably too big now. Maybe. Not really sure how I feel about this. Okay. Whatever, that'll do for now. There's like a weird seam here, so I'm just going to blur that, which is a massive cheat, but I don't really know how to fix it. I think that's just the nature of the distort. So I'm just going to draw a line, well, not a line, but a rotor shape, and then blur it like so. Maybe just do like a horizontal blur, 5 pixels, a bit more. It's not worked very well, has it? There we go. Starting to get there. Let's put a bit of a glow on it, just to give it some life. It's always tempting to go too far with glows on this sort of thing, so probably fairly subtle. In fact, I might not do the glow now. I might put it on after I've comped it, after I've rendered it even. No animation. I just think the colours aren't quite right compared to the references. Like, if I'm going for the, I don't want it to be quite this saturated, but it just needs more colour. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. So this middle bit should probably be a different colour to the outside. So if I do like grade, let's make it. If I set my resolution to this, it's going to break everything. Yeah, never mind. Replace, blur, 200. Let's make all of this inside like a red colour. 500. That's nice. More intense red. There's a lot more contrast in the reference as well. Kind of debating whether to go in that direction. Oh, that's quite nice. I think just stronger colours in general would really help it. Okay. Oh, I missed lots of questions. Any advice to switch to Nuke? I still procrastinate to switch from After Effects. You just got to get stuck in. I think the way that I did it was I just joined a VFX company and started working in Nuke, so I didn't have an option. I was just forced to do it for 8 hours a day, so you learn very quickly when you do it that way. But yeah, just like, I think one of the first things that really clicked for was I did a film with some friends outside of work, and I was still more comfortable in After Effects at that point, and I forced myself to do it in Nuke so that I would learn like all the stuff I would normally do in After Effects in Nuke, and that was quite a good turning point because I just like made myself do it. You just have to be disciplined, and it just takes a bit of time, but that's my advice, just get stuck in. I'm thinking I'm going to make a cat and mouse for the challenge. What do you think? I use Blender, by the way. Yeah, cool idea. Give it a go. I saw lots of people saying something similar, so hopefully you can make something that stands out. Did you place in the last challenges? No, but I did get my render shown in one of the earlier live streams when it was like in the waiting. I think 'cause I submitted early. Clint played my submission, which was kind of cool. That makes sense. Hope you add lens flare. Yeah, of course. Zanzuls. God, I never know how to say your name. Hey, how's it going? How did Weta made this eye all those decades ago? It came out in 2001, I think, and I'm pretty sure it was all done in comp, or like 90%, because they didn't have like fire simulations and stuff at the time, or not like amazing ones anyway. So like if you look at the references from the film, which is these two, this looks like it would be almost entirely done in compositing to me. I'm not sure what software they used, but yeah, I'm not really going for this look. I think this one is a cooler look than this, and also this one, so it's a bit of a mixture. I'm still not that happy with the colours. Oh, you know what would be really cool is like flipping the fire and making it black and using it as like a matte to darken what's behind it. So if I do like this, multiply, make the alpha stronger. Maybe stretch it horizontally slightly, and maybe even blur it a bit so it's not quite so sharp. What does that look like? It doesn't actually do that much. Maybe don't blur it. Oh, and let's flip it like this as well. It's kind of cool. What if we get really nutty and do both? 1 and -1. Combine the two. Wow, that's a lot of fire. Maybe, yeah, not quite as strong on the alpha. I don't hate it. I just think the pupil is a bit boring. Let's try and do something a bit more interesting for this. I think more noise. Yeah, that looks better. And then for the edge, I think this needs to be a lot more distorted as well. Like that. And then also, I think it could do with like having some noise multiplied over the top of it so that it's a bit more broken up. Gain, gamma, alternity, multiply, place, multiply. Yeah, now we're cooking. Not quite that strong, but just to give it some break up. And then bosh. And then brighter. Now look at it. Now we're cooking. Oh my god, I missed so many messages. Your videos on Foundry are very useful. Thank you very much. I've got another one coming out with them in the next few weeks, I think. I just recorded it for them recently. What do you think about Imogen? Haven't used it yet. I might even end up using it for this. I saw that it's free for the month that this challenge is running, so I might even try it for some Fire Sim stuff. Saw your video on Fusion versus Nuke. To be honest, after Blackmagic bought Fusion, they've marketed Fusion towards more broadcast TV, indie VFX, motion graphics, I think. Fusion has some dope MoGraph tools. Motion VFX companies making some dope stuff with Fusion and Resolve. Oh, cool, that's good to know. Maybe directional blur. On what? On the eye. You should try new real-time viewport compositor in Blender. Of course, it doesn't have many nodes, but it's really fast, and you can sort of comp before rendering. Yeah, I might give it a go. I don't really like the idea of comping before rendering because that's kind of oh, my chair's got stuck on something. That's kind of not really compositing at that point anymore. The idea is, well, obviously it is, but the beauty of comp normally is you can. No, I lost my trail of thought. You can tweak the renders afterwards, whereas if you like comp it and then bake it into the renders, it's just sort of baked in. Oh, did you mean a directional blur on this? That might be quite cool, actually. What if I blur this just in the width by like 100? No. See, I want it to have like detail still. That kind of works. Maybe like 10, 15. Yeah. It's not bad. I still think we're a long way from the reference, and I'm trying to work out how to get there. It's mostly a colour thing still. It's like this needs to be way better. It's like a... That's about right. And then it needs to be super red in the middle. Oh, I know what would work. I think it's this. I think this matte needs to be less soft. This, but then we do more fractal blur. Yes, maybe. Oh god, this script is so slow now because of all the blurs, all the fractal blurs. It's like adding post filters in pre-lol. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a different way of working. Personally, it's not really my cup of tea, but I am, you know, I get employed as a compositor, so I want to stay employed and not work differently. But I guess if the industry changes, then I will have to keep up with it at some point. I think that looks cooler. We're getting there. I think the only thing is now I much prefer the like streakiness. Oh, I can't. Oh, there we go. Pure ref is being very slow. I like these kind of like tendrily bits, and I kind of want more of them. Maybe I need to do like a secondary. Yes, that is the solution. So we have less of them originally. So like, oh my god, that looks cool. But that's not what I wanted. I think it needs to be more like this. Yeah, it's not bad. But then have like a secondary one that's really, really streaky. Where's that thing that I've done? Is it this one? Yeah. More. 200. seems to be happening a lot more at the top than the bottom. Is there a reason for that? Is there? What if I do this? That's just going to be in the center, right? Yeah. I don't want that. Hello, what scene are you making right now? I'm trying to make the eye from Lord of the Rings, something like this, and with varying success. It's going okay. Slowly getting there. I think another noise thing that's much more broken down, like this. Yes, this is what we need. Black point, and then maybe 200, so they're much longer. Spherical transform. Bang. This is going to be so slow. I think maybe more distortion. It kind of distorts really differently, like at the edges and in the center, which is kind of annoying. Where's the reference gone? Just out of curiosity, what do you think is the best way to make a fully animated short film? Where would you start? Oh god, what a loaded question. I mean, I guess like in terms of process, you would make the assets first and then rig them, and then, well, maybe do like previs and things, and then just start animating really. But there's so much that goes into a full animated short film. Even when I made that solar surfing video, that took ages just from like animating every shot and working all the scenes. It's a big undertaking, but it's good fun. It's definitely worth doing. Alright, I reckon we put these in here. Let's see what the result of this is. Maybe like here. Ooh. No, I think before. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think that, and then also like an inverted version of that where there's some black streaks would be really nice. So like, same again. Also change the animation seed. And then make this like 30, 40, and then spherical transform these bad boys. And maybe 20, 10, 15. So they get that broken up nature to them as well. I kind of want more of them, but for it to be more broken up like that, something like that. What does the alpha look like? Let's shuffle this into the alpha. Oops. Oh no, red into the alpha. There we go. And then this is gonna multiply everything down like this. Okay, it's not very strong. That's fine. We can make it stronger. That's pretty good. More of it like that. And then I also think it doesn't want to be there. It wants to be where can I put it that's not going to break everything? Maybe here? Oh, actually, maybe I should put it here. But then restrict it so it's not at the edges. We are making progress. It's definitely looking cool. I mean, bam! Yeah, that does actually look pretty cool. Let's do a mask and just stop it from going right to the edges. Maybe like here. Mask. Replace. Blur. Let's do like 100 pixels. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty nice. The fire is a bit too bright. That's the only thing. It's like in the reference, it's all very kind of muted, which I quite like. So let's just go a bit more in that direction. I think it'd be good to break up this edge as well a bit more, and then I think we're pretty close, and then we can jump into Blender. Maybe blur this a little bit. Like 3? Yeah. Just so it's not mega dark. Maybe not quite that dark. Like that. There we go. What do I do this? No. Which one am I after? Maybe this one? Noise, Black Eternity. Okay. Have I missed any messages? No, I think we're up to date. Thank God. Let's bring the fire down to a more reasonable level. I should do it here. Multiply and get it the same sort of colour. There we go. And then also this needs to be darker. Yeah. And then not so saturated. I think that's pretty close actually. There's just a bit more detail in the reference still, but that's the only thing that's bothering me, is like, this looks cooler. But I think a lot of that will be compositing smoke and stuff on top of it. I think for now this is probably pretty good. Iffy? What does iffy mean? I asked because a small group of aspiring filmmakers from PWNISHER's server asked me to help them out on a small animated film. Decided to help draw the storyboards first, but the script is still. Oh, I see what you mean. Still iffy. I mean, it's up to you really. What you want to do. Can be a bit of a risky business trying to like commit that much time to something with total strangers, but it's your call. This could definitely be brighter. Is that going to be nuts? No, no, it's pretty good actually. Oh, that looks pretty cool. I don't know if I want it to be that bright though. Maybe change this to distortion slightly. I think the blur is throwing it off a bit. Yeah, let's do like 60. No, that's not right. I think it was not bad. It's just so uniform. 400 distortion, that's better. And then also maybe like multiply more noise over the top of this. That's just the solution, it's just layering and layering and layering. Noise, merge, multiply. And then not right at the bottom. Ooh. Rectangle. Let's just take the other one. Invert, blur, yeah, 300, 70, and then it's just kind of choosing how much to multiply it by. I think the noise is too. That looks pretty good. What does it look like on this though? Not much different. Great. I might just embrace the fact that it looks a bit different to the films and just lean into it. The other thing that bothers me is it's like very stretched. I wonder if I can. Is there like a setting in the fractal blur for less distortion in the width or the height even? 1. That's not done anything. 1. There we go. 500. Oops. 800. I really want it to stretch vertically. That's kind of cool. What do you guys think? Is this cool or is it not quite there? Add some glow. I'm going to do that after it's been rendered in Blender because I'm going to put this on some geometry. So it will have glow, just not yet. Looks pretty cool, thank you. Maybe outer edge could be broken up a bit. Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to work out what the best way to do that is. No way I missed 1 hour. I'm sleeping too much. You can always watch it back. The streams are recorded, well not recorded, but available on YouTube after they finish. Actually, it looks pretty perfect. It's pretty close. It's not exactly the same as the reference, but I also accept that trying to make something that Weta made out of just noise textures is a tall order. I just really like these bits. I'm not quite sure how to achieve that sort of look. Might need to be something a bit more than just noise textures. I need some sort of like streaky texture. It's looking cool, thank you. The biggest node tree I've made was for the Endless Engines challenge. I think I showed it on Discord, but yeah, layers and layers. Oops, I've just opened Affinity Photo by mistake. Looks like the hourglass ball thing Sauron had. Oh yeah, the Palantir, whatever it's called. It does, doesn't it? I think that's pretty cool, actually. Maybe for now, I just accept this. Let's just see what it looks like on the run. It's probably very, very slow to play back because there's a lot going on. Oh my god, it's super slow. Whoops! I think the edge of the original is not as clean. Yeah, it needs more kind of like eating into the edges. Maybe add some noise, I think, to distort the edges. Oh well, this edge is just going to be feathered off in Blender anyway. If you're talking about the very edge of the circle, yeah, that's just the texture. Maybe I should break the edge up actually. Ooh, that's kind of cool, you know. Man, I've actually made something usable. What a treat. Yes, I think the edge does need to be broken up. I'm also not in love with this, but I think that might be a problem for later. How to break the edge up. The problem is, it's I'm just going to go to the loo as well. I'll be back in a sec. I've been drinking loads of water. Uno momento. In fact, I'll leave this playing and then it's something to look at. I'll be 2 seconds. I'm back. More fractal noise, yeah, exactly. I think that might be the solution, to be honest. I think the... Oh, I read that. So everyone, what are you up to this week? Maybe work more on it after some progress. It looks real good for now. Yeah, I'll definitely do some more after. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, the problem with warping it is that it's actually like the edge... Oh, I guess I could maybe break the edge up on here. Let's see if that works. If I do like a rectangle that stencils out this. Kind of like here. And then, what do you know? Another fractal blur. And the size, turn this way down, like that sort of thing. Yeah, that could work. Blur 20. Yeah. And then take this away from here, like so. Probably needs to be more. Let's do 30. and then oh, it hasn't worked. Does it need to be further in? Stencil. Yeah, there we go. Oh, but it's not doing much. Does it need to be much bigger scale? Yeah, it does. 500. Yeah, so that needs to be like that. That needs to be like that. Maybe a bit less than this. Let's do 500 as well. I don't quite understand why this is going over the edge. Shouldn't it be removing everything? Maybe it is. More, and then less, like that maybe. Kind of messes everything else up as well. No, let's do this instead. I'll just do it afterwards. So, that's that. And then, if I do like gamma the alpha all the way up, multiply 400, then clamp it. And then might need to scale it down. Actually, no. Let's just try this first. Another fractal blur. Bang. And then use this as a mask on this. Yeah, now we're cooking. Okay, so probably need to erode this in a bit, maybe like that, and then fractal blur, mask, blur. There we go. That's looking pretty close to the reference now, actually. I mean, they're not identical, but it's pretty good as well. Oh, I know another thing that I did. So in this one, it looks like the fire's kind of like weirdly at a different perspective. It's like it's coming towards us from the pupil. So you can do like a card 3D, which is like a kind of 2.5D rotation on the fire. If I bring the pivot point down to about here, and then I can rotate it in the x-axis till it's pointing towards me more. I'll crop it, and then it won't make a huge difference, but it's ooh, that's before. Oh wait, before, after. Makes it a bit more localized. Might even push it out a bit more from the sides. Cool. I think the only thing that's bothering me now is just this edge. So I might pull it in a bit more and do less of the distort. 200. 100. 50. 200. Where's that coming from? Oh, is it the noise? That's what's doing it. Different scale of noise. Like that. Yeah, that's better. I think that's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. Let's just bring this a bit further away from the edge. The last thing I think is just putting some more texture here, because it's quite boring as is. So maybe like this kind of thing. Is there? I think I had another noise node somewhere. Geo noise. What is that? No, that's not it. Noise. Oh, it's called like procedural noise. No. Or is it still? I don't think I've installed it, never mind. Let's just do like this, and then maybe this as well. Combine them over the top of each other. Multiply. And then multiply this over this, maybe. Multiply. Not that much. No, it's not really working. Just kind of want it to have that texture. Like that. Multiply. Set it to this size. There we go. And then ellipse. Oh, what's it called? Radial. Let's just isolate it to this bit. And then just grade this up until it's visible. Yeah. And then it's just finding a balance. It's too small now. That's better. Is it not working? What about taking this. There we go. That's more like what I was after. But then I only want to do it on this bit. So use that as a mask. Yeah. Now what happens if I do that? There we go. So that's got some of that like dappled cat's eye texture in there now, which makes it look a lot nicer. Before, after. Yes. I think the scale could be a bit different though. Maybe like... not that much. Yeah, that's quite cool. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm actually really happy with that. Smashed it. Now these need to have a bit of evaluation or evolution. Frame multiplied by 0.05. It's way too quick. 0.002. Oh, I've missed lots of messages again, sorry. What was the last one I read? Can you add some dirt or veins texture? I think it will look more cool. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. I don't think it needs dirt, because it's an eye, but maybe veins would work. But there's not really veins in this. I'm trying to stay fairly faithful to the reference images. Why does your viewport render from bottom to top? Does it? Maybe it's just the scan line effect. That's too slow now. 0.04. Salvador, big up Alfie, long time. Hope you're well. Oh man, good to hear from you. I'm well. I hope you are too. Thank you very much. I'm no longer one wheeling. I had almost a very bad crash and I sold it, so I bought a bike now. But I hope you're still floating around. I do miss it. I've got rid of it in like April this year. Had a bit of a epiphany moment where I felt like it was going to kill me, which is always a bit sad. I realised I was getting too old. One might share some procedural materials I made on Discord. I might share some procedural materials I made in Discord later, maybe mid-month. They're unnecessarily complicated but look really good. Just need time to recruit the nose. Julian says hello. Hello. What if says big fan bro. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. How we're looking now. Okay, so we've got some movement. Is it fast enough? I think it's alright. Okay. I actually think that's pretty wicked. Maybe we render this out and drop it into Blender. I just want to make sure I'm not losing the edges. So let's do resize to scale 1.1. There we go. Ooh. What's happening there? Is it just because it's touching the edges? Here it is. You know what? That's a problem for another day. Maybe it's because of this actually. Preserve bounding box. And then reformat. Back to format, square, resize type none. Preserve bounding box, and then scale it down slightly. Resize type none. No, That's not fixed it. Never mind. We will just live with it for now. Scale, none. Bang. So this is going to be 2016 by 2016. It's not too bad. I'll just render. I think it'll take a while to render, so I'll just render a few frames of it for now. Let's make this a pre-comp. So this is going to be nuke pre-comps. I texture. Don't need an underscore. Boss fight underscore I texture underscore version 1 dot EXR. Place. Create directory. Let's just see how long it takes to render the whole thing. Oh, it's because nuke indie. Oh, okay. Got to scale it down a bit because I'm using nuke non-commercial. Oh well, 1500 is fine. But it might not even like that. Yeah, it doesn't. So it has to be 1080. There we go. Go. Right, leave that rendering. I can read chat. Looks to me like the Lord of the Rings eye has a bit of a curve to it in motion, so that could be an eye texture on some basic geometry. Yeah, that's the idea. I'm going to put it on a sphere or like project it on the front of one. It won't be like this. It'll be more like this sort of thing where it feels like it's on a bit of like a bowl shape, but using that texture. I'm quite excited to see what it looks like on some geometry. It says it's going to take 10 minutes. Surely not. Surely not. Maybe I'll just do like 20 frames for now, and then we can bring it into Blender, and then I'll render the whole thing off camera when I actually work on it. Guys, support this man. He is very talented and skilled, but he is highly underrated. I'm following him around 1 year and learn a lot from him. Thank you very much. That's very kind. People do support me. All 40 and a bit thousand of you. It's very kind. Let's do a few more frames. I don't really know what to do for the character. I think I want it to be Frodo, like holding Sting, his sword, and that light thing that he uses against the spider, and he's gonna like go like that, and there'll be a big lens flare, and that'll be the slow motion moment. But I don't know whether to try and model a Hobbit or just download a model. I guess we'll see. That won't be a today thing though, that'll be off camera. Okay, that's that done. Let's jump into Blender. Open this. Okay, so UV sphere 128. Let's make it mega high res. Oops. Let's try that again. 64. Yeah, so it's nice and smooth. So the eye is going to be here. Probably a bit bigger in frame, maybe like that. And then it needs a texture on it. So this is where the magic happens. Let's sack off this stupid light for now. I Control T, open Boss fight. Shot 1. Nuke. Pre-comps. Eye texture. Open. Aces CG. Okay. And then I think I just want to unwrap this half and do unwrap like this. Yeah. Oh, it's opened it as UDIMs. Oh god. I didn't want that. I wanted image sequence frames 20, I think. Start frame. Let's do frame 1. No offset. Oh god. Blender's really bad with like offsetting things like image sequences or camera tracks. It's always such a fiddle. I can never work out how to get it to work. It's probably minus 1,000, isn't it? Because of god damn it. UV editor. Shader editor. Clip. I mean, that looks kind of cool. 200. Bah! If only it would bloody animate. Why isn't it working? Let's just do cyclic for now. Auto refresh? There we go. I mean, it's just looping at the moment, but that's kind of the idea. What is the company you're working for, by the way, if you want to say, obviously? It's called Coffee and TV. I might actually be making a YouTube video about it at some point in the near future. They've asked me to do some YouTube content about working there. I guess just to like boost their social media presence. So you might actually see some videos about working in that studio soon, which will be quite fun. I need to go. I'm planning to rewatch Spy Family today and have a good one, Alfie. I hope you get in the top 100 at least. Thank you very much. I think it's very unlikely that'll be in the top 100 based on the ones that I've seen previously, but we can always dream, can't we? I think that works pretty well. It would just be a case of comping all the fire, I think, and maybe rendering an alpha for the outline here, so it would be like multiply alpha by 500 and then just clamp it at 1. Clamp alpha to 1 and then RGBA so it has an alpha channel. Just render those few frames again. 1020. Oh man, I might just drop this in and then once the eye is on the geo, probably call it a day. It's been quite a long stream. I'm getting a bit of a sore throat from talking, and the next step of like getting the characters in and stuff is going to take me ages anyway, so that won't be something I do today. But it's been a fun stream. Thank you everyone for joining. So we'll just finish this render and then wrap it up, I think. Got stuff to do. I've got a pizza to bake. I've been making pizza dough over in the kitchen all day. Close. Save. I don't know if a flat image sequence is going to make it. Maybe add some fire sim around the eyes. There's going to be lots of other stuff. It's not just going to be one bit, like one layer. I'm going to do lots of smoke, and there's some lightning and stuff in the reference images as well. So it'll all sort of connect together. Incredible work already. Thank you very much. It's very kind. The fact that this is just loads of noise textures and a couple of fire elements is pretty cool. Have a good day. Thank you. You too. It definitely looks kind of how I imagined in my head. I think I got pretty close. I'll probably tweak it a bit more after this anyway, but generally I think it looks pretty good. Like these dark bits really help. That kind of like negative space of the little, I don't know what they're called, like the fragments in your eyes. I don't really like these. They're still a bit noise textury. Those like wobbly streaks, but I'll have another look at that later. Are we there yet? Yes. Okay, so if I refresh this, which I think it will work if I just do that. Oh, no, it's done this again. Classic. 20 frames. Color space, Aces CG. Clip, yeah, that's all correct. And then I do transparent. Mix these two together. Use the alpha as the factor. Might be the other way around. There we go. Oh, what? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, it's because of the unwrap. UV editor. Invert. And let's just grab all of this and scale it down to be like in the top corner. There we go. Okay, shader editor. Bang. What? Why has that not worked? Clearly, that's correct. That's correct. That. Why? This has always worked in the past. Is it the light paths? Nope. Inspired by Lord of the Rings. Yep. Definitely. It's literally a Lord of the Rings scene. Alpha. Is it because the alpha isn't actually black, possibly? I've never had this before. This always normally works. Very odd. Transparent. What do I make this black? Does that do it? Oh, this is a translucent shader. Let's try that again. There we go. Thought I was going mad. Cool. So that is the eye. And then I guess I think it might be quite cool to like, yeah, use the UVs to move it around instead of just rotating the image, so it will look more, it kind of distorts better if you move the UVs instead of everything else. And I'll just move these off as well. That's pretty wicked actually. So I can use the texture mapping to control that. So probably put some like random expressions and things onto that for the wiggle. And yeah, I think we'll call it a day there, guys. That's a very promising start. Obviously a lot to do, but that's looking pretty wicked. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Any last messages? No, that was it. Of course, I have a chat. Cool. All right. Back to Facecam. Yeah. Cheers, and I will see you all very soon. I'll keep you updated. I'll be posting where I get to with this throughout the process. And looking forward to seeing everyone else's renders as well in Discord, so post where you're up to. See you next time. Peace!